Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a concept that completely changed the way I look at productivity, success, and even happiness. It's called the 80/20th principle, also known as the Pareto principle. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have a powerful new framework to achieve more by doing less. Sounds good, right? So what exactly is the 80/20th principle? It's the idea that, in many areas of life, roughly 80% of the results come from just 20% of the efforts. This isn't just some made-up number. It's an observation that has been proven time and time again in business, economics, and personal life. For example, 80% of a company's sales might come from 20% of its customers. You might wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. Or maybe 80% of your happiness comes from 20% of your relationships. Once you start looking for it, you'll see this pattern everywhere. The key takeaway is this: not all effort is created equal. Some actions have a massively disproportionate impact on our results. Our goal, then, is to identify that critical 20% and focus our energy there. This brings us to the first crucial step: learning to distinguish between what I call the vital few and the trivial many. The vital few are the 20% of activities that deliver 80% of the value. The trivial many are the 80% of tasks that only contribute to 20% of the results. Think about your typical workday. How much of it is spent in meetings that go nowhere, answering emails that could have waited, or getting lost in minor administrative tasks? These are often the trivial many. They keep us busy, but they don't move the needle on our most important goals. The vital few, on the other hand, are the deep work sessions, the strategic planning, the client calls that lead to big projects, or the skill building that unlocks new opportunities. The challenge is that the trivial many often feel urgent and demanding, screaming for our attention, while the vital few require focus and intention. Learning to tell the difference is the first step toward working smarter, not just harder. Once you've identified your vital few, the next step is logical. You need to prioritize these high-value tasks. This means consciously choosing to put your best time and energy into the 20% that matters most. A great way to do this is to start your day by asking yourself, what are the 1 to 3 things I could do today that would have the biggest positive impact on my goals? Make those your non-negotiables. Schedule them into your calendar as if they were important appointments, because they are. This might mean you have to be more disciplined. It might mean saying no to other requests or pushing less important tasks to the afternoon when your energy is lower. The idea is to give your prime mental real estate to the activities that deliver the highest return on your investment of time and effort. It's a shift from being reactive to being proactive, from being a firefighter putting out small fires to an architect building something significant. Now for the flip side of the coin, and this part can be just as powerful. You need to eliminate or drastically reduce your low-impact habits. This is about identifying the 80% of things you do that produce very little value and actively deciding to stop doing them. Take a hard look at your daily routines. What's eating up your time without giving much back? Is it mindlessly scrolling through social media for an hour every morning? Binge-watching shows you don't even really like? Saying yes to every social invitation out of obligation? These are the time and energy drains that prevent you from focusing on what's truly important. Start small. Maybe you can cut your social media time in half. Or dedicate one evening a week to focused learning instead of passive entertainment. It's not about becoming a robot who never has fun. It's about being intentional with your time. By cutting out the clutter, you create space, both in your schedule and in your mind, for the things that will actually propel you forward. The beauty of the 80/20th principle is that it's not just a work hack. It's a life philosophy that you can apply to virtually every area. Let's talk about relationships. Who are the 20% of people in your life who bring you 80% of your joy, support, and positive energy? Invest more deeply in those relationships. How about your health? What are the 20% of habits like consistent sleep, a nutritious breakfast, or a daily walk that contribute to 80% of your overall well-being? Prioritize those. In your personal growth, what are the 20% of skills or knowledge areas that will unlock 80% of your future opportunities? Double down on learning those. By applying this lens to different parts of your life, you start to optimize your entire existence. You stop spreading yourself thin across 100 different priorities and start concentrating your efforts where they will have the most profound effect. The result is a richer, more fulfilling life with less stress and less wasted effort. A natural outcome of applying the 80-20th rule is simplification. When you focus on the vital few and eliminate the trivial many, your life automatically becomes simpler. You have less clutter, both physical and mental. Think about it. Fewer distractions, fewer meaningless obligations, a shorter to-do list filled with only high-impact items. This clarity is incredibly powerful. When your mind isn't bogged down by a dozen low-priority tasks, you have more mental bandwidth to think creatively, solve complex problems, and engage in deep, focused work. Simplification isn't about deprivation. It's about intentionality. It's about curating your life, your tasks, your commitments, your environment to support your most important goals. A clear desk, a clear inbox, and a clear schedule all contribute to a clear mind. And a clear mind is your greatest asset for achieving outstanding results. So embrace simplicity not as a sacrifice, but as a strategy for greater efficiency and effectiveness. Finally, let's talk about the magic ingredient: consistency. The 80-20th principle isn't a one-time fix. It's a continuous practice. The real power comes when you consistently apply your efforts to the right 20%. Think about it like compound interest. Small, high-value actions, when repeated day after day, week after week, don't just add up, they multiply. They create exponential growth. That 1 hour of deep work you do every morning on your most important project might not seem like much on any given day. But over a year, that's over 300 hours of highly focused effort that can lead to incredible breakthroughs. Consistently choosing to connect with a key relationship, or consistently sticking to a core health habit, will compound over time to create a life of deep connection and vibrant health. The key is to trust the process. Identify your 20%, commit to it, and be patient. The small, smart choices you make consistently are the ones that will build unstoppable momentum and lead to the extraordinary results you're looking for. So to recap, the 80-20th principle is about identifying the 20% of your actions that drive 80% of your results. Start by distinguishing the vital few from the trivial many. Prioritize those high-value tasks and ruthlessly eliminate or reduce the low-impact ones. Apply this framework not just to your work, but to your relationships, your health, and your personal growth to simplify your life and increase your efficiency. And most importantly, stay consistent. Those small strategic efforts will compound over time, creating massive, positive change. I challenge you this week to do a quick 80-20th analysis of your own life. What is one thing in the trivial many that you can stop doing? And what is one thing in your vital few that you can give more time and energy to? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you plan on applying this. Thanks so much for watching today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on living a more intentional and productive life. Until next time, focus on what matters.